Okay. First of all, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Professor Law, for inviting me here. Oh, and Daniel as well. Actually, my contact is through Dr. Daniel Churchill. Now, I have to explain a little bit of my background before I start the PowerPoint, because it's actually very different from David. I was actually sighing with admiration just now. You know, he's been at Ningnan for a short period of time and already set up so much things. I actually have been with Baptist for about a month. I started on the 1st of February. So I was with City University of Hong Kong before. So you will see that from my presentation, I'm not institution specific. So basically, when I looked at what Bob and Daniel talked about for this conference, I thought maybe some experience sharing, how I actually view things and how we have actually done it and how I intend to do it would probably be useful. So please bear with me. So no institution being mentioned as an example. Well, I would start off with this diagram. It's actually taken from Blackboard, and I thought I actually came across this diagram in 2005 when I visited the headquarters of Blackboard. At the time, we were trying to look at learning management system, and the choice was Blackboard or WebCT if you want to buy one at that time. And this actually intrigued the team because like most institutions, or most technology or innovation, it usually starts off with people wanting to do things on their own. So you actually have a group of interested people, forerunners, or people who are very good with technology, and they group together and they started thinking, why are we not using technology to help us? So basically, you have what they call exploratory stage, and as more and more people in the institution are exploring, the institution think that, oh, we have to support these people because you need the infrastructure, you need the hardware. So they said, well, let's support it in a sense in terms of infrastructure, hardware, as well as maybe instructional design or educational design. Now, the interesting bit is here now. If you look at it, if we just allow the support and the work to be continuously ad hoc on individual basis, you will actually reach strategic or even mission critical level. But in the end, you take longer because as you see that this kind of little kink and things, because the institution is not supporting the whole thing as a whole, putting resources and time into it. Whereas here, with a planned adoption, the institution is actually making a concerted effort to support the interested people. And apart from that, not just the interested, the not so interested, we're saying that maybe you should try them because they will help you. And even the completely uninterested get dragged in because the students start jumping up and down and say that, oh, I've got 4 courses on having IT component or e-learning, why is the other 2 not having? So basically, you have your support element and you actually reach what we call the mission critical stage quickly. So I think this was useful, and that's how we would actually, or I would say the institution should devote or think about how you support e-learning. So basically, quite similar to what David has suggested just now, you need some policies there, like e-learning strategy, like standard approving, like some policy to guide the institution so that you can work on things. Then the support. This is important because e-learning will not be a one department thing because it won't work if it's just a one department. You actually have to work with the academic registry because you need the student record support on that. You actually need to load that into a system. You also need IT support, the infrastructure, the network, the wireless, everything has to be there. And then you need the pedagogical elements to help the teacher use it in a student learning way, not technology for technology's sake. So that's why the cross-departmental team, and then you communicate and train for staff and students. Now, I like this diagram. I don't know how to show up here. This is the busy bee. Once you actually started this journey on e-learning, there's no going back. You will be like a busy bee flying around everything. And Now, apart from the wings, which are important, so you have the pedagogical design unit, library, central computer network support departments, and staff and record keeping. Like everything, the head is important. You do need institution support, and you need a champion. So if you have no champion, you just running around, then you basically would actually be not a strategy, because you can't escape technology now. It's just not a concerted effort. So the institution champion plus a steering group, which actually the interested parties from all faculties and schools would be useful. So that's your busy bee. And what about communication to teachers? Now, irrespective of what stages the teacher is in terms of using e-learning or blended learning, the primary effort that we want to put in is that we actually want this teacher to concentrate on teaching and learning. So he or she does not have to worry about whether the records are up to date, whether things are happening, whether the network is working, so everything is for the benefit of teaching and learning. So he or she will design the materials, put them onto the learning management system, whatever it is, and then come into class. It will happen, out of class it will happen as well. So the primary goal is really take the administration out of education for the teachers so that they can concentrate on teaching and learning. So basically the integration with the student record system is fundamental. But it's not just integration, because the two institutions I work with have this pattern, like lecture, tutorial, and then lab, and maybe seminar. So if you actually just copy the same pattern onto your course creation, you'll have a lot of unhappy colleagues, because one colleague will be teaching the lecture and he doesn't involve in the tutorial. Others will be involved in 5 or 6 tutorials, doesn't teach the and doesn't do the lecture, and so on and so forth. Many combinations. So you do have to work out something that will actually work with the teachers. The way I see it is that you have a traditional timetabling system with lecture, tutorial, seminar, which has been running for, I don't know, what, 200 or 300 years, in the stage of education. And then you have this new e-learning tool. The last thing you want to do is to copy that thing which is 200 or 300 years old into your e-learning system. So although you make it as a basis, you will have to work on a different schedule, a different model, so to facilitate teaching and learning. So that's what we mean by course sites and working with the teacher.